Here's everything I picked up this week. Of course, starting with toys, right off the bat, I got the Maximum Spider-Man here from Marvel Legends. Pretty excited for this guy. I don't absolutely love this Peter sculpt, but it does feel pretty Maximum. I have been wanting web effects like this for a while, the web shield, and it looks a bit like something else to some people, but not to me. This is iconic webs. I also quite like the web shooter alternate wrists here. I just wish it was implemented in a slightly different way so that I could put it onto my custom Peter Parkers. Next up, I got this box here from Nin Nin Games. So it's an import. Just what could it be? If you guessed the Figma Tears of the Kingdom link, you guessed correctly. Good work. There's a decent amount of controversy with this Link because he's a pretty tall boy. Link is normally around, I don't know, 5'7". I don't know how tall he is in Tears of the Kingdom. And this Link, he looks to be above 6 inches almost. So Figmas, they used to typically scale roughly true 6 inch, maybe a little less. But then if you look here, I've tried to line up their feet properly. He's almost the same height and size as Maximum Spider-Man here. So that's been ruffling quite a few feathers. I do have 2 of the previous Figma links, so I guess I won't be displaying this guy with those ones. I have the Twilight Princess and Link Between World Figmas. And I don't own one of the Figma horses, but if you do, let me know how he fits on that guy. He seems too big to go on the Figma horses, and that would be a shame, because that's one of the greatest Figmas ever that I don't own. Just got that guy there. And then this box I just got in today. And this box is from HK Toy Box. It is the Snail Shell Toys Grisa. Grisa? I don't know. Now on to comics. Starting with my monthlies from 204. This was a lighter week, but I've got Ultimates 11, Phoenix number 10, Aquaman number 4, Green Lantern Corps number 3, Hulk issue 24, Transformers issue 19, and then since it was a lighter week, I had to get a bunch of back issues to fill out my collection. So I got 3 issues of Batman Predator. This is the first Batman Predator crossover. I think there's like 3 or 4 of these. I'm not 100%. And then to fill out my back issue of Green Arrow by Mike Grell, I've slowly but surely been building up this collection. And then some back issues of Batman by Doug Moench. Then for trades, I was able to find all these used, so somewhat cheap. This series is a Grail series of mine. This is a favorite of Xander, my brother, who you may recognize from the Kicking Trees comic book podcast that we started. It is Teen Titans by Jeff Johns. So I got the first 3 volumes here. I've never read this series except for the Titans of Tomorrow volume, which I did quite enjoy. So very happy to have that. I'm on a Marvel Zombies kick right now, so I'm slowly filling out that collection of 1 to 5. I got 2 and 5 here, and now of 1 to 5, I'm only missing number 4. Finally, I got Batman, Son of the Demon. I am fairly certain this is Damien's conception story. That is why I wanted it, and let me know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll be minorly disappointed. I'll be real with you. Okay. A lot of people talk about Jeff Johns' JSA run and how great that is. And while that is true, I would argue this one is what really firmly put him on the DC map. So when he was writing this, the Titans were slowly becoming the center of the DC universe. And he just progressed a lot of their characters. Like Impulse here matures immensely during this, and they don't write him as mature now. He did, from what I've seen, change Superboy quite a bit because his vision when writing this was to have them be more like a high school clique. So he said this in an interview that Superboy would be the quarterback jock and then Cassie would be his cheerleader girlfriend. I am now wanting to hunt down, I think it's called Graduation Day, the story where the Young Justice members stop being Young Justice members and then go on and become Teen Titans. And they're mentored here by veteran Teen Titans, Cyborg, Starfire, and Beast Boy. And I like that idea, having some older non-teens with younger DC heroes. I think that's a good idea. You get to mix up some eras, and it makes for easy crossovers. I wasn't the biggest fan of Marvel Zombies 1. I thought it was decent. It was fine. And this one is a direct follow-up to that one. I think the zombies are in space. How much of this is on Earth? It doesn't look like a ton of it's on Earth. Or I think they go to a counter the other dimension. I don't know. But this one, you're giving me Machine Man and Howard the Duck? Do you know how excited I am for that? These are two of my favorite characters. And they're just going around doing battle with zombies? To parallel Earths too, it looks like. Fighting cowboys? Oh, I am hyped for this. I do wish Hasbro would make a Machine Man with his little toupee hair, which, bad example, that's not what he's having. It's not what he's wearing on the cover here. Before filming, I did read 4 of my 6 new issues here. Ultimates is always on the top of the stack for New Comic Book Day. And this issue was all splash pages starring Thor and Sif. And it was pretty cool. At one point in this issue, they make a comment on the Light Elves, or maybe not the Light Elves, one of the other realms. They're people who used to make art and do these things and things. They're now producing content, and they're very unhappy. And I thought that was funny because I'm producing content right now. So Jeremy Adams, he wrote for the Green Lantern cartoon, Green Lantern the Animated Series. Now he's writing Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. And part of that he's carried over is the events of that cartoon are somewhat canon in the DC universe now, because they introduced Razor in his Green Lantern run. Now Razor's here, and Razor's looking for Aya or something. And then part of what he's been doing is he also brought in continuity from the Justice League cartoon by having Jon Stewart and Hawkgirl have a prior relationship, which, to my knowledge, wasn't a thing before this series. Jon Stewart, just always getting changed by the non-comic medias. Jeremy Adams is also writing Aquaman here. And something I've been enjoying in these last 2 issues is he's brought in iconic Superman mermaid girlfriend Lori Lomaris. She is telepathic, and she would go around in a wheelchair and have a blanket cover her fish half. And I just think the idea of Superman used to date a mermaid, that's pretty funny. And I like when it gets brought up again. Phoenix wrapped up its first story arc with this issue, and I am excited to see where it goes next. At the end, Jean's long-thought-dead sister Sarah re-emerged. I don't know much about Sarah, but I do like Jean's sick gold and Starfield costume. It looks pretty cool. And then I haven't read Transformers or Hulk yet. This Hulk series I have been enjoying, but every issue, I forget about it when I'm not reading it, even though I really like it. So I don't really even talk about it much. But got Clea here. Big fan of Clea. It should be good. And they have some real banger art in this series. It's just grotesque and monsters. It's good stuff. A lot of body horror. And Transformers, always a banger by Daniel Warren Johnson. Megatron is finally playing a larger role in the story, and I'm looking forward to that. And I need to get myself some Transformers toys. Preferably ones that are 6-inch scale. So let me know how tall Optimus Prime is. I'm not 100%. So there's everything I picked up this week. Let me know what you're reading and what you want to see reviewed first.